so lonely, broken angel. I'm so lonely.
Out of this cold North German wind, so why don't we head back into your house?
Okay, that's great.
Bye-bye.
Okay, grow.
Niklas Frank, welcome to Hardtalk.
Thank you.
Do you feel that you have some sort of a duty to your country to speak about your past?
I think so, yes. I think I have the duty, because by chance I was born in this family and I could tell the people how to behave with parents like I had.
When do you think you first began to feel that you must speak out as volubly, as publicly as possible about your father and about your feelings toward your father?
It was a growing wish because of the silence in Germany. All the families of my friends, everybody was silent and they didn't talk about the past. And this I couldn't endure, because I always wanted to know how a society behaves if it changes to a dictatorship. And I always were feeling that Germany is still prepared to do this. And so I looked closer to all the families and friends and acquaintances. And I found out that still is something in the German people which makes me fear them.
Fear? Your own country and your own people?
Yes, I would say so.
Well, I want to pick up on that because that's a pretty remarkable thing to feel and to say. But before I get to your thoughts on the country, on Germany, I do want to stay with the personal, because it seems to me in that period you're talking about, after the end of the war and for decades afterwards, many families of senior top Nazis still felt a sort of a residual, a vestigial loyalty to their kin, to their blood. Did you never feel that?
No, especially not for my father. It's slightly different with my mother, because I have experienced my mother as a really fighting mother for us.
But she was a Nazi too.
She wasn't a Nazi.
Was
she was
not?
never a member of the Nazi party, nor was she a Nazi. She hated all this screaming of her husband when he was delivering a speech. And she hated this kind of stuff. But she very much liked the luxury. She found through the position of her husband, there she was a very cold and inhuman woman.
In terms of your father, I want you just to look at this picture with me of your father in his Nazi uniform. When you look at him, do you feel anger, rage? What do you feel?
Anger and rage. Anger and rage. And the next thing was the word, which for me is always sticking to my father, is, what a coward you were. What a coward.
And that feeling isn't just a memory feeling. It's something that's very alive in you.
It's very alive. It's very alive. It is still as if he is sitting on your place. I despise him, really.
He died, he was hung after the Nuremberg trials when you were 7 years old. So I'm just wondering how strong your memories can be of him when you were in that castle in Krakow, his headquarters, the headquarters of the Nazi occupation force in Poland, do you really remember what it was like and what he was like?
No, I didn't remember what kind of profession he had. I only knew Poland was ours, and the castle was ours, and the other castle outside of Krakow was ours, and the big Mercedes was ours, and the SS guards were our property. And
it was almost like you were part of the royal family.
Yes, it was. It was. And this I enjoyed very much, like my mother. I enjoyed it.
What a
I'm so lonely, broken.